Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra,
We're ladies.
and we tangent.
What's up, everyone? You know what's
Uh-huh.
wild? Is it's November.
I have a baby.
You have a baby right now. I mean, you
my
don't right this
God.
second, but we're recording this for future us.
us, and I have a baby.
You do. She's here, and her name is...
Oh, I'm allowed to say it now?
She's been born.
Sawyer Elaine. Elaine is my mom's name and Corey's mom's middle name. So it's and my sister's middle name.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's got a lot of ties.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cutie.
Sawyer Elaine.
Little soybean.
Oh, that's why I call her.
She's so cute.
I hope she is. I mean, no, she
We're manifesting.
is. She's so cute. It doesn't matter either way. I'll love an ugly baby.
She sleeps well.
Oh, she sleeps so well.
She does.
She is nursing like a champ.
She is.
My boobs are doing great.
They are. And you look fantastic and you feel fantastic. The delivery was wonderful.
Oh, yeah. So smooth.
Yeah.
So smooth.
Be smooth.
Yeah.
Much like your legs, which you can now
See?
Yes.
I haven't seen my undercarriage in so long that the other day I tried to shave and it was just a blindly feeling it, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. You don't want to put a sharp object down there when you can't see.
No, and I was.
Yikes.
And I was also kind of dizzy. It was all bad.
That's dangerous. That's the closest you get to like living on the edge.
Yeah. So what's happening right now is a real business in the front, party in the back situation.
You do know you've said that.
Business in the front, party in the back?
Yes.
Good. That's what it is.
It's still that.
Yeah.
Okay.
People have forgotten. It's been months.
Oh, yeah. But I haven't because I just listened to it.
Exactly.
Okay. Sorry. Is it still that way right now?
No, now I can see everything. And I'm letting it all go because who gives a shit?
Because it's still tender and healing.
And I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
I am nervous though because my future mother-in-law works in labor and delivery, so obviously she's not going to be the one. I don't think that she's allowed to like.
Why wouldn't she?
I don't think you're allowed to be. Well, like Corey, when he's a nurse, he can't be a nurse on call for people he can't go into their room if he like knows them. He can go in as a visitor, but he's not allowed to like be their nurse. Just because emotions could be involved if you know somebody you might not make like. So I don't think she's allowed to like be my nurse, but she can still be on the floor and stuff. But she
walked in when I had Forrest and she had her mask on, and so like I just saw her eyes and I was like, I don't know who you are. Yeah. But then like it clicked after a second. I realized who it was. That happened too when she was driving on my street and she stopped and said something to me. I think she yelled, "Hey ladies," in tangents, and I was like, haha, I don't know what's happening. And then I realized after she drove away who it was, and I was like, wow, I'm an idiot. I'm embarrassed.
No, she was embarrassed. She was like, I don't think she knew who I was. And
I did.
You did though, because
I did.
2 seconds later you messaged me and you're like, please tell Susan.
Yes.
But yeah, she can't be there, but she's like, I'm finding you the best nurses and all this stuff. And it's funny because 2 of them are fighting because they listen to the podcast. And I was like, I don't know if I want people who like listen to be also staring at my vagina.
Why not?
I don't know. They see everything,
I would feel more comfortable with a listener staring at my vagina than a stranger, I think.
Well, here's the thing. When I was
maybe they'd be gentler with it because they know you so well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When I was 20 and going into labor, I thought everything had to be smooth.
Yeah.
And so this time I'm like, hey, when my water breaks, what the situation is down there is what it is down there. And I was talking to her and I was like, do you guys care? She's like, we do not. We've seen it all.
That is what I have to tell myself all the time.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to... My water broke with Noah, and I still took like 2 hours to get ready. I took a shower. I shaved everything.
Well, they tell you to do that. Because you're not going to get to take a shower. Like, they tell you to
get... Yeah. But I still did my hair and makeup. Why? Let me tell you something. Not worth it.
I wanted to because in my head I was going to take pictures, but that did not happen.
No.
That 100% did not happen.
Even if I do take pictures, I don't think I'll do my hair and makeup again because it was by the end of 12 hours of sweating and going crazy, it was all gone.
Yeah.
And my hair was up in a bun, so what was the point?
Not a point at all.
So anyways, what's new with you in November?
What's new with me?
You still have a lot of weddings? Or are you slowing down?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow, it's November.
Life is going a little bit.
I'm feeling really good. I think I'm about to go on a little trip. I don't know if you'd want to go, but we remember when I was going to do a retreat?
Oh yeah.
And then stuff happened and it was like, maybe this isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
I still booked the place. And from the beginning, I told everyone, I was like, whether this happens or not, I'm still going to need to go on a little trip ski to get some R&R after my intense October. And so I think that's happening sometime around whenever this is coming out.
That's exciting for you. So you kind of get a breaky too.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have to do like
it's not really a break, but I'm going to get to go like sleep in a different place. But it sleeps 12 people.
Oh.
And originally,
how many people are going?
Just me and Shane and the kids.
Oh.
Originally, I was going to have Megan and her family come, but like they have a shop in Florida and they're switching locations and stuff. So it's like just not a good time. So they're not going to come, which I was going to go anyway. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Shane and I were like, should we invite other people? And Shane said, what about Sierra and Corey? And I'm like, well, they're going to have a baby.
Just had a baby.
Probably not, but
maybe we'll see. We'll see when she comes out.
It's not too far.
Yeah.
But
it's in Ohio.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 30 minutes away.
Oh, we might. We'll see what life looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Because probably not.
We have no idea right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's happening with me. I'm done with my busiest wedding month of the year.
That's good. October?
Yes.
A lot of people get married in October.
Are you insane? Yes. That is like the month to get married.
That's when I wanted to get married.
You're stupid.
Well, I won't.
You can't.
September. Is that also crazy?
Yes. From May to November is insanity.
Yeah.
But I am going to be taking on less weddings. Yeah. It'll be fine.
Well, you don't even have to come to mine.
I don't have to come to your wedding?
I know, I'm just joking.
I thought I was the maid of honor. I'm not even a guest now?
No, I was
Jesus.
I was saying we might elope.
Oh. Can I still come?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Still need my maid of honor.
Okay.
Or something. No, we won't elope. There would be so many people that would be so mad if we did that.
You could elope and then have a party later. It's fine.
I know, but that's what I mean, that's my dream.
Yeah.
I don't care to plan things.
No. Who does?
Yeah.
Not me.
No.
Which is why it's so weird for us to do so many episodes like ahead of time.
Crazy.
I know. And it's hard to like have relevant stories because like
I don't know what life is like.
I know. And this is the second episode for Scandals that we're doing tonight. And the first one, I gave you all my good stories.
Yeah.
But if I would have waited, they wouldn't have been relevant now.
No. Nobody cares about your vagina in November.
I know. My vagina, I hope we're manifesting. She's still doing fine.
Yeah. It's mine too.
Yes.
For real. We're really manifesting that mine is doing well right now.
Yes.
Because I'm scared. I did tell Corey, he's like, we are potentially... Oh, I can say this because my baby shower's passed at this point. We're playing a game. Oh, you're going to get a spoiler. But it's like, you have to pick like mom or dad. And it's like, would you rather? But it's questions like mom or dad.
Who's more likely to do
diapers?
Got it.
Basically, it was me for all.
I was going to say, ooh, give me inside tips and people won't know till a month later that I cheated.
I will.
Okay.
But the one question was like, so I had to do these with Corey so we could decide. And the one question was like, who's more scared about labor? And I was like, well, me, obviously. And he's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, what
the fuck do you have to be scared about?
I know. I'm like, you're dropping this bomb on me now? You're my support person.
Yeah.
And I have been telling him how anxious I've been getting for the past month. And he's like, it's fine. You're going to do great. Blah, blah, blah. Now you're going to sit there and tell me that you're scared?
Yeah.
Well,
it's not helpful.
No,
that doesn't help my anxiety.
No.
So the answer is...
me still.
Okay.
I bet I'm still more nervous.
Okay.
He was like, but you've done it before. Like, I've just never done it. I think I'm just afraid of the unknown.
Well, you'll never do it, Corey.
Yeah. You just have to watch. So congrats. And I was like, I understand that you're like nervous to see the person you love in pain.
Yes.
And like, he's a nurse. So like he wants everything to go
well.
And I'm like, but also I've done this before. I know what it feels like.
Yes.
And it fucking hurts. And so like for everybody who's like, oh, you've done it before. That's why I'm more nervous this time. The first time I didn't give a shit because I was just like, I'm just going to push 3 times and a baby's going to come out of me.
The first time I was terrified. I remember, I think I said this before, but I was like crying at the 7-month mark because I'm like, he's so big and he has to come out and the hole's so small. I don't understand.
That's where I'm at right now.
And that's when I started listening to all of my hypnobirthing things to help me. And then...
Did it work?
Yeah. It helped me so fucking much.
Well, maybe I'm going to have to look this up.
I listened to those tapes for like 8 hours unmedicated. And then she was like, your contractions are lasting like really, really long and there's no break between them. So like this is not normal. Yeah. And I'm like, then give me the epidural.
Help me.
Yeah. But I think had my contractions been normal, it really, really would have helped me.
Yeah.
But I was so chill because my birthing experience with Ollie was so good. Postpartum sucked fucking taint hole.
I know. I'm nervous about that part too.
I was not nervous to give birth with Forrest because my labor and delivery with Ollie was so good. Other than like I had so many fucking wet farts with Ollie. Like my contractions were really bad. It was just causing me a lot of gas. And because my water broke, it was just sounded like
it's like, oh, I know.
You know exactly what it sounds like. But my labor and delivery with Forrest was fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious.
Well, that doesn't make me feel anything.
I'm so sorry. But
no, what's funny though is that
but it could be the opposite.
Yeah, because my postpartum with Noah was nothing, but my labor and delivery was terrible.
Well, maybe it'll be the opposite.
Well, I don't want postpartum. I want them all to be good.
Oh yeah. Well, we're manifesting
that it's all fine.
Everything is great. Everything went well.
I stretched like amazing.
No champion.
No need for the scissors or the knife.
No, you opened up like a parachute and she just rappelled down. And
I was like, look at there.
Yeah.
Everybody was amazed. They were all clapping for me. I had a standing ovation.
Everyone heard. And it was a Little Mermaid, and everyone was like, what?
She swam out.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those people who have full-on babies, like still in the sack, come out?
I love it.
It's incredible.
It's love it.
Incredible.
Was I talking to you?
Were we? Because I just had what were we talking about?
Yes, there is an episode, I think it's already out now, where, see, this is why we can't fucking do shit out of order.
No.
Where we did the Am I the Asshole with Sam, where it was like, am I the asshole for telling my sister she laid an egg?
That's why it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I watch videos like that all the time. I've never seen a person in the videos that I watch like have it naturally, but it's always like
C-section.
But it's incredible.
Yeah.
They like moving around.
So fun.
Have you ever seen when there's twins?
No.
That's cool. They're like holding hands and touching each other's faces.
Do you find that cuter because you're engaged to a twin?
Yes.
So you just imagine them in there like that?
Except for Corey was mean to his twin brother because they had so he is a very rare type of twin. It's called like a mono twin. So they had same sac, same placenta. It wide off their umbilical cord. So they shared a cord and a placenta. Well, towards the end, Corey was taking all of the nutrients. He was born over 7 pounds and Zach was born at 5 pounds.
Jesus.
Corey looked a whole month older than Zach when he was born. Yeah. And he was head down first, so he came out first. Zach was breached, so his ass came out. And it was a very scary situation.
Yikes.
But yeah, that was...
Your mother-in-law's a champion.
She is
Susan,
incredible.
You're a fucking rock star. I tell you what.
She did that all natural.
I can't.
I can't even.
I cannot.
And she went overdue. She was like 6 days overdue with twins.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I was 24 hours past my due date with Forrest.
And you're like,
and
get it out.
He was just 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm here, I'd also like to manifest that I can breathe tomorrow. As in real time, not November time.
Here's the thing that's sad is, yes, COVID is getting crazy again. We don't have it. We've been tested. But it's also like every other cold and flu is going around right now. And it's insanity.
Yeah.
It's almost like masks worked last year.
I know.
Weird.
Ugh.
Because I wasn't sick last year and nobody I knew was.
Nope.
Okay, so let's start the scandals.
Scandals.
My sister, who is 21, had a best friend. She was also 21. Let's call her Georgia.
I love it.
Yeah. Georgia is pretty much homeless. She lived in the UK and then moved to Spain and then moved back to the UK. So she seems more like,
transient.
Yeah. The reason she is homeless is because she made allegations against her own dad. Never did find out what the result of that was, but basically she couldn't live at her family's anymore. Okay, so my sister kindly offered for Georgia to temporarily stay at our dad's place. My dad is 43, until she gets somewhere permanent. He needed the rent money. She needed a place to stay, so my sister thought it was a good solution. I wasn't exactly happy with the idea, but it was her friend, so I didn't have a say. Next thing I know, they're having sex.
The dad in Georgia?
The dad in Georgia.
Oh.
At least she's 21. But still. They lied about it to me and my sister. Me and my sister find out, and we were pretty hurt by this. And then a month later, as this was hidden from us too, we find out Georgia is pregnant.
No, Daddy. Daddy, no.
She blackmails our dad that she will
blackmails him.
That she will tell us whenever they have an argument, or she didn't get her way, but we find out anyways. She then decides.
Well, there's only so long you can keep that.
Right. Well, she then decides to terminate the pregnancy, which is her choice. And then a month later, she gets pregnant again.
By Daddy?
By Daddy.
Oh, I don't like that we're calling him Daddy.
Daddy!
Daddy, no!
Daddy, no. This time they decide to keep it. My dad then stops talking to me and my sister. He deletes us off social media and hasn't spoken to his daughters in over 2 years. So now I have a brother that I've never met. But wait, there's more. We find out 3 months ago that Georgia's come out as a lesbian.
Georgia. Georgia.
Yeah. That's a lot to handle. Daddy.
Why, Georgia, why? I knew there was another one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a roller coaster. I don't understand. Like, I can understand the daughters being frustrated by their friend sleeping with their dad, just because that's fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That is unsettling. But like, to cut your kids off
because you're having a new family with your daughter's best friend
that you took in because you needed rent money.
Oh,
she
needed something more.
I don't like. I feel.
What if they fell in love?
I don't care. Fall in love. Sure. Fucking do that. But like,
yeah, no.
The blackmailing, the secrecy, the cutting people off, like that's where I have a problem.
I understand. I feel you. This one's fucking crazy.
Oh God. Okay.
And I've heard it before.
You started off with that and then you're going to tell me this one's crazy?
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard of this one. And so tell me if I've read it before. This is not the same one that I've read because it's written differently. But like if we've read one, or I might have heard of it on a true crime podcast that I listened to.
Oh.
So here we go. This hometown scandal is literally insane, and I'm kind of involved. In 2016, it was the year of Sweet 16s for me and my friend. Oh my God, that's so crazy. For my friends and I, one of my friends was throwing. I can't believe that.
It's your golden year.
I forget that Sweet 16s like are the thing because people are rich, and I'm like
Sweet 16. Well, MTV made it like a television
show. But you
show.
have to.
Yeah.
One of my friends was throwing a Sweet 16 party at a nice hotel because her parents were pretty wealthy. There was a photo booth, catering, chocolate fountain, chandelier, and a DJ.
I just got a kid from our school who dumped Mountain Dew all over my cake that was left over from my family party. And I got a convertible.
Yeah, you lucky beach.
The window didn't even roll down. It rained inside the car, and there was a hole cut out in the driver's seat. In the back of the driver's seat was propped up by a piece of wood.
But it was a convertible.
But
the top did go down.
Yes.
That thing was fun to drive around in.
It was.
The DJ hosting the party was one of the most popular ones in the area. He went by the name DJ Freeze. Any of this ringing a bell?
No.
Okay, then this is good. DJ Freeze had DJ'd another Sweet 16 of a girl from my high school, but she didn't like me, so I wasn't invited to that one. At one point in the night, I requested Shake It Off by Taylor Swift from the DJ. He also joined us in dancing the Cupid Shuffle. Fast forward to about 2 years. I turn on the news one day and I see Mr. DJ Freeze's. She calls him Mr. DJ. Mr. DJ Freeze's mugshot on my TV. Very confused, I go to school and DJ Freeze is the topic of every conversation. Turns out DJ Freeze has been arrested for the rape and murder of a school teacher from years and years ago. Because of new DNA technology, they were able to connect the crime to him for gross reasons in DNA matching that I'm sure you can guess. Thank you. Yes. So I guess I can say it's a scandal that the most popular DJ of my hometown is a convicted murderer. And also I spoke to him. Also, my best friend's hairdresser was once engaged to him. So weird. Anyways, love you ladies so much and hope you enjoyed the scandal.
Whoa.
Yeah. Someone else must have written that in because I heard that story before.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. I was literally getting ready to like make a Cupid shuffle joke. Yeah. And then you said
like rape and murder.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm going to put the everybody clap your hands part.
That's the cha-cha slide.
Oh. Cupid.
Everybody get hit. Cupid shuffle sucks. It's like down, down, do your shirt. Down, down, do your dad, Georgia.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I remember. What is happening? Why does it sound like someone's about to drive through my house?
Literally.
What the heck was that?
So weird. They just like screamed and then that was like a street fight.
Yeah, that was wild. But is the Cupid shuffle like 2 hops this time? 2 hops this time.
That's the cha-cha slide.
Fuck. Okay, so the cha-cha slide. You would think I've been to enough weddings to know the difference. I don't. But when I was shooting a wedding one time,
Cupid's like to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Right to the right, to the right. To the
you gonna do this whole thing?
Now walking by yourself, do the Cupid shuffle. I hope we don't get it sued.
There's not more?
No, that's why I think it's the stupidest line. Hey, I'm here to say the Cupid shuffle is the stupidest line in the song that's ever been created.
Okay, so the cha-cha slide.
The cha-cha slide, it gives a little bit. And you gotta really be paying attention. Well, because sometimes it's like 2 hops this time, not Charlie Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. I always thought he said char the ground. I was like, yeah, char it. Char the ground. Anyway.
Whenever you're freaking welding stuff.
Oh my God. I don't take pictures of people in public, but I take like mental pictures.
Sure.
And make like memes just for me.
Yes.
Today I was at the grocery store and I saw this man and I was like, there is nothing more Ohio grocery store than seeing a man with a blowtorch in the cereal aisle. What the fuck?
What it out?
Yes, he was just holding a blowtorch. And then just like scanning the granola bars.
Of course he was.
I know. Anyway. I was at a wedding one time doing the cha-cha slide.
Yes.
And when it went 2 hops this time, Ollie, I was pregnant with him, kicked and he went duh, duh. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? I've been to too many weddings while pregnant. Like, you're on beat. And now Forrest, he learned to clap because I would go, everybody clap your hands. And then I would.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Hello, can you go? Yeah, he claps his hands. I go, everybody clap your hands.
The cha-cha slide gives so much more. The Cupid shuffle is just like, go out there and kick a little bit. And move
side go out there and kick a little bit.
No.
Imagine if that was what they said. No, just fucking kick a little bit. No, I don't care.
No, I don't care. Why don't you just kick your partner?
Kick your partner?
Who gives a shit?
Oh, anyway.
My child, the other day I was listening to Jumpin' Jumpin' by Destiny's Child. I actually made a Snapchat, but I only sent it to my sister and didn't save it. I was so mad, but I was like, she understood the assignment because it was like, and the club is jumping, jumping, and my whole belly moved. Like, and I was like, she's jumping.
That's
she loves
cute.
Destiny's Child. Okay. I am a dietary aide in a nursing home that was a beautiful old-timey mansion back in the day. It was renovated but still has some original walls and details.
Haunted.
The entire place just has this dark vibe that's kind of unsettling. What's even stranger is where we are is home to 3 nuns who were sent from convents. 2 of them I have befriended, and the other never really liked me.
Oh, so they're there?
They're there.
In my head, they were just like myths of the mansion.
No, they live in this like retirement home that's in
the
nuns cathedral. Yes, 3 of them, and one's mean. I'm
just picturing them as the 3 sisters in Hercules. They share an eye.
Oh, I love that. I'm only 17, so I would tend to work the later shift after school. It blows my mind that she's like, I'm a dietary aide and I'm 17.
Yeah.
But like, that's retirement homes for you.
Yeah.
I know so many young kids that work there and have like,
yep,
pretty important jobs.
Well, when I taught at a career center, one of the jobs that they would do, they would like help kids get their STNA license, and a lot of them would work at the nursing homes. Like, yes, that was part. Instead of going to school, they would work at the nursing home and then do their academics, and it would go towards their graduation credit.
That's crazy. It was fall and it was starting to get dark early, like always, which never really helped with the creepy vibes. So one night I'm doing my supper shift like I did most nights of the week. Side note, residents are not allowed in the upstairs kitchen off the dining room because they could have a fall because they're slippery floors. I was filling my sink next to the sanitizing machine, which was running, so the whole room was really loud. And I'm not very observant, so I did not hear or see my non-bestie nun enter the room. So I'm going along, washing up dishes left and right, when all of a sudden I hear ominous praying behind me. My first thought, obviously, is what the fuck is that? So I turn my head to the side slightly and see the nun praying with their hands up like they are over me. This was not a nice, like, oh, Lord, help this child type shit. It gave me very much send this bitch home with some Satan spawn curse type shit or type vibes. I am very much freaked out, but also non-confrontational, so I avoid that shit at all costs.
I keep washing dishes?
I continued to wash my dishes.
Oh my gosh.
Until I was forced to turn around to grab the coffee pots off the counter next to her. Just as I turn around, I make eye contact, and she runs out of the room.
What the fuck? Like, she didn't realize that you knew she was there?
No.
She thought she was being sneaky and suspicious?
And then she's just like,
I've been caught.
Can you imagine a little nun just running down the hallway?
Do you think they still had their habits on?
I don't think you're allowed to take them off, right?
I don't know.
I don't know a lot about nuns.
Because priests don't have to wear them all the time. I saw like the priest of our local Catholic church. He was just like walking the streets. I mean, I know that they walk the streets, like they can walk, but like
they can go out in public. But it's jarring to see them out.
And not in their robes.
Yes. She says, I just stand there pretty much in shock of the entire situation, but must continue because I have rehearsal for my 1-act play in an hour, and I didn't want to be late. So yeah, long story short, some creepy-ass nun was putting a hex on me when I was just trying to do my job. Whoa. It never happened again, thank God, and she has never said anything to me about it. Sorry for the lengthiness, but I love your pod, and you too. Ever since the incident, podcasts are in my AirPods so I can ignore the demonic nuns. Love you all.
The fact that we are like used for demonic nuns, like to block them.
Maybe that's why she heard us in your ear or your AirPods. That's why she was praying. She's like, oh girl,
we must get them out of your ears.
Yep.
So scary.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, being in those facilities is
nuns creep me out. If they're not in like a church, if they're in a different setting,
anywhere that nuns are, I'm freaked out by. But when I worked at the school, I would take my students to a nursing home to do a rotation, and I would have like one in the laundry. I would have another student working in the kitchen.
Homes are also kind of creepy because like people die there.
Well, yeah, but also because like, especially the one, I don't know if it's common in all of them, but I know in the one that I would take my students to work in, they had a dementia hall, like section.
Sure.
Like, so there was all of these patients or residents that had dementia, and like that wing was terrifying.
Ooh, I just got such cold chills.
Because like,
I know, because those people, they can't help it, but like they're not in their own minds.
No. And like, it was the first time seeing my students work with the patients with dementia was like one of the most rewarding things ever, because I worked with kids with special needs, and so, well, young adults with special needs. And so like when they were working in that atmosphere, they were like, they had the power, not power, but like they were helping someone for once instead of being the ones being helped.
Yes.
And so they had this responsibility, and it was so beautiful to see, but like they also didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
So when this is not funny, it's sad, but like how my student reacted was funny. Like you're just put in these situations where you're like, I don't know what to fucking do right now. There was a woman who had a stuffed cat. And she was petting it, and she was like, oh no, it was a dog, I'm sorry, it was a stuffed dog. And she was like, it's the best dog, he never barks, he never eats, he just sits and he sleeps, and he's the best dog. And my student looks at me and she was like, Miss S, as a stuffed animal. And I'm like, I know that. We're not going to talk about it. Okay. But they were looking at me like, what the fuck is this lady talking about? And should I correct her? Because a lot of times they had no filter.
Yep.
And I'm like, just let it be. Let it be. Yeah. Aww. This dog never eats or barks. Best dog ever. And I'm like,
you really need to get you one of these dogs.
I know.
Almost no training.
Yeah.
Oh. This says, not really a scandal, but the other day at the store I work at, someone pooped on the floor in front of the ice cream freezers. And then she puts a smiley face.
Yay for me.
Yay. I was running register while someone was cleaning it up, and someone asked if there had been a dog in the store, and all I said was, nope. And the look of absolute horror and confusion on that man's face made the situation slightly less horrible.
No, people always make like the clean up on aisle such a fuck. It's like, it's not funny when it's an actual...
Someone has to clean up the human feces.
Human shit.
I've had people... Remember when that person shit in the train?
I don't remember that. I think you brought that up before. I remember kids peeing on the cars.
Oh,
but
it was
I don't
a
remember.
Full-on adult. No. Which again, I can't... Who am I to say anything? But also, it's very hard to feel sad when you have to clean it up.
I know. Oh.
Okay, this one says, I don't care if you use my name. I'm Ashley. Pronouns are she, her. I have a family scandal of sorts. I grew up in
Ashley, call them the fuck out.
Yeah. I grew up in a blended family with 7 siblings. For the context of the story, our ages were 12, 11. This is her. She's 11. 10, 10-year-old twins. 9, 8, and a toddler.
I was really hoping you'd be like 12, 11, 10, niner. I don't know why. I just really wanted you to say niner.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I let you down. Some were biological, some sep, and some half siblings. After church, when we were little, my parents would send one of our older siblings with the keys to start our Suburban, and we would all pile in and buckle up so they could have a few minutes of adult time to visit their friends. There would always be some arguing, and the one little shit starter sister would rile everybody up.
There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah. So she's pissing everyone off, per usual, and my 10-year-old brother is like, I don't even care. I don't even like you, and you're not even my sister.
Oh, fuck.
And she's like, yes, just because we're step doesn't mean I'm not your sister. And my brother is so annoyed, he starts yelling, I'm not your brother. Then he starts pointing at each of us, Oprah style, and he's like, and I'm not your brother. I'm not your brother. And when he's done, he yells, I'm adopted. Of course, we're like, whatever, you're lying. But then he tells us that our dad sat him down and had a conversation about it, and he's not his dad. So we all freak out. I get out of the car to go confront my dad, and everyone
at church
while they're having adult time.
Oh my god!
Hey, this just group of 7 kids is like, fuck your friends. What the fuck is this about? So
the nun from the
she's praying in the background.
Yeah. She just shows up. She got out of the nursing home.
We run into the church in a frenzy, and my dad and stepmom are horrified, trying to corral us back before the whole church hears our drama. It was true. When my dad married his second wife, he was raising me, and she was pregnant with my brother. So it must not be his kid. She was pregnant already.
Wow.
We're 9 months apart, so he was always in my life, and I had no reason to question it. I just thought we were half siblings. It was such chaos, but to this day, it's absolutely hilarious to recall and one of my favorite stories to retell. He and I have always been close, and he's my brother no matter what. But damn, he did us dirty spilling the beans like that. To this day, he still loves to use shock factor to make a point.
Don't we all?
That's the whole me with I slept with your roommate.
Oh yeah.
I'm not your brother. I'm not your brother.
Was that this scandal?
I don't know.
Now that you said it.
Whoopsies. Well, if you guys don't know what that reference is, go back a couple months.
Go back to September. The end of September scandal episode.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, this one is titled High School Drug Cartel.
Oh my God.
I know. To put into perspective, I went to a very large high school, about 800 kids in my graduating class.
Holy
That's
shit.
a lot of fucking kids. And our school was set up kind of like a neighborhood block, just intersecting all over the place. The internal classrooms obviously didn't have windows. I also had a teammate whose dad was a cop. That's important later, I promise.
Okay.
When I was a junior in 2014, it was a few days before Christmas break. It started out as any other boring-ass school day with nothing more to do than get through an exam or two and then leave early. Well, that was until around lunchtime when all of the fire alarms started going off and we were all evacuated to the athletic fields surrounding the school. As soon as we began to evacuate, there was already half of the cops in the city in the school parking lot. So clearly something had been going on before the alarms went off. We waited for hours and hours until the teammate that I previously mentioned called her dad to ask what was going on. He then informed us that someone had called in a tip that there were 5 different teachers in the high school that were doing and selling drugs to students on campus.
To students?
To students.
How do you think you're going to get away with that?
Thank you, students. Have you ever met teenagers? They don't fucking keep a secret for anything.
Yeah.
You're for sure going to get caught.
And also, like, you don't poop where you eat.
No. Sell your drugs at church like normal people. This says, when the cops showed up to question them / go through their things that morning pretty discreetly for how big the school is, they found nothing. Before that, cops had even gotten the chance to leave the campus. Before the cops had even gotten the chance to leave the campus, one of the teachers took a sledgehammer to the wall where she'd hidden her stash and ruptured a gas main in the process. Needless to say, she was arrested along with the others, and they had to shut down our school for days to fix it, and all of our lazy asses got to take our final exams online at home, and we cheated our way through every class this semester.
You're telling me this teacher hid drugs in the wall and needed to use a sledgehammer to get it out?
Yeah, how was she selling them?
How did she get them in?
I don't know.
Is she a masonry? Like,
are there...
Mason? Is she a mason?
Are there little rats that she has working for?
I guess.
To go in the holes?
Cinderella.
That's very crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's wild.
That was a good one. So I forgot about this until I listened to the most recent Scandal episode and realized I had to send it before I forgot. My parents got divorced when I was 11, and about a year or two later, my mom... So this is...
Oh,
yeah, you can.
No, I love it.
A year or two later, excuse me, my mom started seeing this guy. We'll call him Barry because that's his name.
I like it.
Barry was also divorced and had 2 girls a few years younger than me who we'd both met and spent time with. Barry had told my mom that he was preparing to tell his daughters that their mom didn't want to see them after the divorce and that he would be having full custody of them. Yeah,
oh,
ew.
That's so sad.
It is sad. Like, why would you... It was a completely normal relationship. He would spend most nights at my mom's flat. We would go for trips out with his daughters. My mom would post about him online, and obviously neither of them would be wearing their wedding rings since they were both newly divorced. Well, one day, my mom gets a call from a woman asking how she knows Barry, and my mom tells her that she's his girlfriend, to which the woman replies, "I'm his wife."
Barry, you done fucked up, didn't you?
My mom was confused as to why her boyfriend's ex-wife would be calling her a whore. Excuse me. her,
a whore.
Only her a whore. Or how she even got her number, but tried to be polite before being told that they were still together because he'd been lying about the whole thing. My mom was very vulnerable at this point in time, having just come out of a 14-year relationship with my dad and living in a different country with no family nearby. She was from England and my dad was from Scotland. We moved from England to Scotland when I was 10.
I want to know what your accent sounds like.
Well, I want to tell you, at the end, she says shite. And I'm like, is that Scottish?
Okay, the guy who married us.
Yeah.
His parents, his mom was from, I think, Boston, like born and raised Boston. Yeah. And his dad is from the UK. And I said, I think I said at our wedding that I just wanted to hear them fight because I felt like their accents probably got more intense when they were angry. Yes. And she was like, they do.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that is kind of like a wet dream of mine, if I'm honest. So, really it just took me there when you said Scottish. And okay,
Can you
anyway.
Please get a video recorder.
Okay, I know there's more to this story, but like in my head, so is his current wife the mom of the daughters?
Yeah.
And so they're still together and there's more? Okay.
So it says, to this day, I am so enraged at the fact that he saw an isolated woman and did that to her, and even more enraged at the absolute nerve he had to lie so blatantly. There was nothing out of the ordinary about their relationship. Even his daughters knew my mom was in a relationship with him, and there was absolutely no way anybody could have predicted he was having an affair. So the daughters were like actively involved in his relationship with this woman. But he was also still with his wife. I don't understand.
But he planned to tell his daughters that the mom didn't want anything to do with them. Like, I wonder what the daughter's relationship with the mom was like.
I don't know. Maybe not good.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because but if it was good, how fucking blindsided. Mm-hmm. That's so cute. What if, this is confusing to me because as a kid, if your parent was bringing you around someone that they were in a relationship with.
Sure, been here many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your mom calls and is like, I'm married to him. Would you be like, no, the fuck you're not, Mom? You know what I mean? Like, don't, or if they were still in a relationship, wouldn't you be like, why the fuck are we with this lady? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, as a kid who's been in situations close to that, you don't ask any questions. You're just along for the ride. Because honestly, sometimes you don't know.
How old are they?
I don't know how old they are. But sometimes you truly don't know that this isn't normal.
That makes sense.
This is probably what other people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you find out that it's not, and then you're like, I'm still gonna keep quiet because I don't want to be involved in this.
Yeah, that's insane. So like, it's curious whether, like, I obviously want to believe that Barry's a piece of shit because if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna pick a side, it's never the man's.
Well, this is, to this day, I still think about him and hope he's living a terrible life without his wife, who I hope threw him out immediately.
Oh my gosh.
And she says, shite, forgot to put my pronouns. I use she, they pronouns, and I just submitted the story about my mom and Barry. Love the podcast so much. It always makes my day so much better.
Oh, thank you for sending that in. Yes. How wild.
Super wild. Good story, though. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a really popular restaurant, not to name names, but it was named Mudman Burgers.
Is that the restaurant?
Mudman Burgers.
Oh, I thought it was like a JT Tack situation. I was like, I'm having a hard time placing that one.
Nope, that was the actual name.
Snapplebee's would be a fun one.
Ooh, that would be.
We've done Smexit. What did we do?
Schmexer Schmoedhouse?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was obsessed with it for a while because it was a local restaurant that sold chili on its burgers, which quite honestly slapped. They took all of their employees on a trip to Africa to help the kids.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, and in the restaurant, they had pictures from this trip everywhere. They really flexed it and even had pins that said, ask me about Africa.
What the fuck? Okay, that's an issue. I thought they would like... When you said
nice.
Well, when you said took them to Africa, I thought you meant like on a safari.
Yeah.
I didn't think you meant like one of those
doing weird missions things where it's like, hey, nobody really asked you to come here.
Yeah.
You can go home.
Yeah.
That were on their shirts. Shortly after that, we found out that the restaurant was run by a cult.
Time out. So Ask Me About Africa was on their shirts?
Yeah, on pins on their shirts. Ew.
Was that like a way to get into the cult? Like, hey, tell me about Africa. Ew. What's up, Africa?
God, that is a timeless movie.
It
is. Yes, and that's a cult, Mean Girls.
Oh, cult classic, yeah.
God bless America. And all the employees were in that cult, and the restaurant got immediately shut down. The trip to Africa was a big culty scam too. Anyways, it got reopened and is owned by different people, but nobody goes there. I think they're too afraid.
I wonder what the cult was.
I know. Mudman Burger's cult.
Could you imagine if there's a cult that I'll join?
It's Mudman Burger.
It's one that puts chili on burgers.
Mudman makes it sound like
poopy. He's a poopy dude. That sounds like a poopocalypse to me.
For sure. Mudman Burgers.
Oh, fuck. Did I do the pooparooski in this episode or the last one?
That was the last one, I think.
Oh, damn.
Shit.
As a callback to September.
Go back. We'll be wearing these outfits.
Yeah.
A girl that I went to high school with went on a trip abroad one summer. When she returned, this one? I don't know if it's real or it's something that I read somewhere, but I've heard of this before. A girl that I went to high school with went on a trip abroad one summer. When she returned home, she realized she had broken out in a weird rash around her mouth. Went to the doctors and found out she had contracted a rare infection. My school was pretty small, so rumors quickly spread about how she contracted this infection. She ended up confessing that she had made out with some guy at a bar who must have given her this infection. Yeah. She had his information, so disease control was sent to his house since it was apparently a super contagious disease. Turns out he was a cannibal. Had chopped up body parts in his freezer, human bones as decorations around his house. Was charged with multiple counts of murder, and this was only based on the bodies that were found. Police said he was likely trying to lure her back to his place, though luckily she was smart enough not to go.
Oh my God.
I know.
I went abroad and all I got was this mouth infection.
From a cannibal.
Yeah.
Who tried to eat me.
Put that on a t-shirt. Ask me about
my cannibal. Ask me about my mouth infection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
So scary.
I do feel like I've heard of that before.
That's why I'm like, if that was a creepypasta, I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
But I think it might be that I've actually heard
Fuck your dad. I swear to God. If this isn't real,
I'm fucking your father.
You bet. Okay. Dead ass?
Dead ass.
What do the kids say? No cap. Fucking dad. I'm a fucking dad. With a cap, though, probably.
Oh, no caps
I'm
for me.
Trying to get PV again.
That's a callback to the last one.
It is.
That's a callback about my vagina.
It's a callback to a couple in September.
Oh, good times, good times. Okay. Oh, this one.
Okay.
It starts out with, so like my grandma is dating a murderer.
Currently, like still?
Yes. So this isn't really a hometown scandal, but more like a family. What the actual hell? What?
Is he like she's still dating him currently?
We're gonna
get to Thanksgiving. I got fucking questions from the first sentence.
I'm gonna answer all of them.
Okay.
More like a family. What the actual hell? Also, sorry it's so long, but worth the read if you want some sizzling tea with a splash of trauma.
And boy, do I.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Annika. I think is how it is.
Oh, cute.
She, her. Yes, for real. And I swear my life is a TV show. So my grandfather passed away 2 years ago.
Well, if it's fake, we're fucking your dad.
You better, Annika.
You can call me Monica.
How did we do it? Okay, we've been doing this for too long.
30 years.
For real. My grandfather, sorry, we gotta get sad again. My grandfather passed away 2 years ago in January.
Was it the murderer?
Hold on.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay.
In May, we made the 18-hour drive back to my dad's hometown so we could do our private family ceremony of spreading his ashes. As we pull into the driveway of my grandparents' house, my dad looks at me and warns me that Grandma apparently has a boyfriend and that we will be meeting him. I'm sorry, sir. What? So we go inside and my grandma instantly starts talking about him. That's so fucking weird when you're about to spread your
boyfriend?
Ex-husband's ashes. Or not ex, I guess widowed husband's ashes.
Yeah.
The weirdest part was she would go, oh, and he has a troubled past. Like, what the hell does that mean, Joyce? She's just out here naming it.
Yeah.
She explained that he was left by his parents at a courthouse at the age of 8, which, yeah, sad if it was true. So she said he was on his way over. Apparently it takes a 70-something-year-old a while to walk 2 houses over. My father, being the brave soul that he is, decided, what should I do? Oh, I know. Go to the liquor store. The man did not come back for 2 hours.
I thought she was going to say 2 years. I never knew my father.
The entire county doesn't have a stoplight. Freaking traitor. Well, let's call the boyfriend Everett because that's his name. Love that everyone's doing that. So Everett comes over and can't keep a conversation for 2 minutes straight, and he looks like an evil claymation character.
I love claymations. Thank you for that description.
Yes. So long. Why do I picture him as like
Burgermeister Meisterburger?
That or like the grandpa of Hey Arnold.
Oh, that's not a claymation, but like also good.
Yeah. So long story short of the pre-story, Joyce, the woman formerly known as my grandma, invited this motherfucker to spread my grandpa's ashes, which was a train wreck, as the first thing I saw in my family's most sacred place was Joyce's ass get grabbed by Everett. To be followed by him.
Everett, not the fucking time or place.
Not the place. To be followed by him screaming at his dog. Yeah, he brought his fucking dog during us talking about my grandpa, which then the dog walked through my grandpa's ashes.
Oh my God.
Dirty dog. Fast forward to this one's kind of long, but it's good.
Grandpa's all over the place now.
He is. He's in the dog.
He's everywhere.
Oh, all the time. Fast forward to July. We get a call from the town realtor to look into this Everett guy because he's trying to con Joyce into selling her house.
Joyce, no.
And the meeting was uncomfy, so the guy was like, red flag, I'm calling your son because this is wrong. My father, in timely fashion, did what a man would do, waited 2 weeks. She sowed so much shade at her fucking dad. I get a call that I need to come home right away from work, and I walked in and jokingly said, what, is Everett a murderer? And instantly my parents were like, yup. What the actual fuck? Turns out he beat his stepdaughter to death over an extended period of time.
Oh my God.
I know. Also turns out he had several restraining orders against him. One is because he found out his girlfriend was pregnant and locked her and her kids in the bathroom with him while he beat her and stomped on her stomach. Oh, and those parents that left him and he's never seen before, yeah, they helped him clean up the blood.
Oh, my fuck.
I know.
Does it explain why he's not in jail?
So we find all this out and we fly Joyce to Denver to be with us while we figure this out. Thankfully, we had a family reunion the next day, so there were a lot of us to be there for her. But yeah, that wasn't an issue. We tell Joyce and showed her the articles when she got to our house. This woman had the audacity to say, well, I knew he killed someone. I just thought it was a man. I'm sorry, I must have missed the whole it's okay to murder someone if it was a man when I was when I was growing up.
What the fuck, Joyce?
I know. So we blocked his phone number and told him never to contact her again. Like that was going to work. She took my phone, I'm 18 at the time, and tried to call him 3 times. After all of us sitting down with her and telling her if she goes back to him, then we won't be having anything to do with her because I have 7 nieces and nephews and we don't want to be around that type of person.
Yeah, he is dangerous, clearly.
Very. She ended up trying to play both fields and lied to everyone and then went back to him 30 minutes later, calling his daughter to wrap things up. We put her on a plane. To wrap things up, we put her on a plane the next day to be picked up by her niece. Everett and his daughter then kidnapped or old bitch napped Joyce. That's not me. That's her, she says. They live together now. She went missing for 2 days and it was kind of exciting. Like, oop, are you alive or dead?
Oh my God.
No, she was just lost. Or in her words, not lost. I just didn't know where I was. That's That's kidnapping, Joyce. That is kidnapping. We have taken this to everyone you can imagine with this situation, and no one can do anything, even though she's losing her mind both physically and metaphorically. If you read this, I'm so sorry it was long, but that is the shortest version I can make. There's about 18 more stories like that from the last 7 years on both sides of my family. Trauma, anyone?
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit, Annika. Holy shit.
That is wild.
Wild. So I don't know why he never got caught for doing it. Or maybe he
did. He did because they found out through the papers.
So he did.
It was court documented,
and
right?
He went and... Well, that's the thing about older people. They could do their time in jail and get out. Like, if you have 25...
kidnap Joyce.
Right. Because,
well, she wasn't kidnapped. She just didn't know where she was.
I just old bitch. I just lost for a little bit.
It's just I don't know.
I just didn't know where I was for 2 days.
I would just disappear for 2 days, not like against your will a little bit.
It's fine. But so, yeah, that always freaks me out because if someone's like 18 and they commit something, you know, a murder, and they get 25 years, then they're out when they're like in their, how does math work?
18 and 25?
Like in their 40s?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they could just start life and be like, here I am, I'm out, I murdered somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for rehabilitation and all that. It just is kind of...
Well, that's scary.
That's very scary. When I'm all for rehabilitation, but with violent crimes, maybe we should be a little bit more.
I mean, and it's kind of circumstantial. It's hard to generalize, but in this situation, he was obviously putting her in a dangerous situation, like trying to get her to sell her house and then kidnapping her.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like, you know, the red flags the realtor was talking about. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. You got one more?
One more? I got plenty.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, time.
No big deal. I want more. All right. So which one should I do?
I am like very proud of our audience because their writing
These are good stories.
Top tier.
I know, they're making me laugh.
The stories are great, but also like the creativity, the writing is
I'm loving that. Take me on a journey.
Yeah, I really very funny.
Enjoy. So your options are a man on fire at a Chuck E. Cheese, senior prank, or teacher in Olympic gold medalist. He confesses his love publicly in front of her.
Based on your descriptions, I have to go with a man on fire at a Chuck E. Cheese.
That's fair. I was going to do that one anyways.
Okay.
But the other two, if you wrote in those other two, we'll keep them around for the next one, so don't worry. When I was a child, I had my 3rd birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese in Bradenton, Florida. Halfway through the event, people started to gasp and yell, and I ran to the window to find out what was going on, and a man was running around completely on fire. She was 3. I looked this up recently, they were 3. This one doesn't have pronouns. I looked this up recently to determine if I made this whole thing up, and apparently what happened, this is a sad one, forgot to tell you.
So should we not end with this one?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Do you want to do the senior prank one?
Okay. I don't know what they are. You know it.
I forgot that the Chuck E. Cheese one is. Okay. We'll cut that out. I looked this up recently to determine if I made the whole thing up. And apparently what happened is that the man parked with his wife and 2 kids, and upon exiting the vehicle to go to the Publix next door, stabbed his wife multiple times and then dumped gasoline all over himself and lit himself on fire.
And then went into a Chuck E. Cheese?
He was just running around outside of the Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, I thought he ran into the Chuck E. Cheese.
The people in there were just at the window watching this man on fire run around.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, her dad's like, this is what I got you for your birthday.
This man is on fire.
Yes. There's speculation on if he was going to try to set the kids and wife also on fire, or why he ended up doing it. To be fair, I think it's just because he was a psychopath. That's what they said. But the kids got brought into the Chuck E. Cheese by an employee until the authorities arrived. I'm pretty sure he survived as well, but I can't seem to find any like follow-ups.
Do we know if the wife survived?
She doesn't say. They don't say.
Oh my gosh. Could you... I'm imagining myself as the child in the car. First of all, the trauma
Yeah.
Oh my God. The absolute roller coaster of watching my mother be stabbed, watching my father light himself on fire, and then going into a Chuck E. Cheese. Like, what?
The giant mouse comes out and you're just like, I can't fuck with you right now. But I'm sorry. There's some shit going on and honestly I can't.
Yeah.
That would ruin Chuck E. Cheese for you forever. Correct?
Well, certainly.
Oh my God, I stuck my foot in some gum in one of the pits there, and I didn't ever want to go back.
One of the ball pits?
Yeah, they were like, take your shoes off, it'll be fine. And then I was like, well, I've gum in between my toes now. So, you fucking mouse.
Well, I watched this is not compared at all to what these children saw.
No.
But you know the one thing where it's a light and it goes around in a circle and you have to hit a little buzzer and try and get it to stop right in front of you? Mm-hmm. I remember stopping it right in the jackpot place, and I watched it hop to the next one, and I was like, you fucking cheat, you absolute goddamn cheat, give me my fucking tickets. I was
give
furious.
me my fucking money.
I know.
Wow, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's so much worse.
I'm sorry. No. Comparatively, that's the worst. Did you see that meme that I posted about it?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna find it because I have to tell you because it is funny.
Shane and I were watching a comedy special last night, and the guy was talking about Chuck E. Cheese, and he was talking about how they're not updating anything, that they're trying to go out of business and they just can't. And the animatronic band, the drummer's just like this and down.
It's so true.
He never pops up. They're not updating shit.
No. It's on my Facebook. Hold on, I'm gonna find it because it's very funny, and I want to.
It better be it with all this time, though.
Sorry. Hi, welcome to Chuck E. Cheese. Everything is visibly dirty, and our mascot is a rat. Eat some pizza near a sneezing child. Come on down for some rat pizza at our child casino.
I did see that and laugh at it.
Next to a sneezing child.
I like it. Our what is it? Our child casino?
Come down and eat some rat pizza at our child casino.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, God. Okay, we'll end on this one. Everyone loves a good senior prank. Correct? Did we ever have any senior pranks?
Yeah.
Were you involved because you were popular and I wasn't? Yeah, sounds about right.
It was barely a senior prank, and I feel really bad about it because it involved a fish.
Oh, no. Are we going to get in trouble with PETA?
No. Well, the plan was to put fish in all the toilets. But that didn't happen, and so I think I put one in a cup and left it on a water fountain.
Okay.
And then I don't know what happened to it. But then we did go and lock all of the stalls from the inside.
I do remember that. That was annoying.
The plan was to zip tie them all, but the zip ties got confiscated. I didn't know I knew about the pranks, but I wasn't involved. I wanted to be involved because I wanted to think that people cared to involve me.
Right.
And so that's how I ended up with a fish. But
someone rescued it and just has a nice pet now.
Yeah, well, that's what I like to hope.
Yes. Well, at my school, on the seniors' last day of the year is when they usually pull theirs. This past year was my first time experiencing a senior prank, even though I'm going into my junior year because of COVID. When it came time for the seniors' last day of the school year, the school was absolutely swarming with teachers between periods with walkie-talkies and cups sitting outside of bathrooms. We weren't allowed to take our backpacks into the bathrooms that day to make sure that no big pranks were pulled. I feel it's important to note that one of the biggest things they did the past year was put pictures of bread with Post Malone or Ed Sheeran's face on them and labeled them Toast Malone and Bread Sheeran all around the school. So this all seemed completely blown out of proportion. However, after talking to a teacher, I can kind of understand where the school was coming from. Apparently, in, I believe, 2013, when I would have been in 3rd grade, 2 of the principals at the school were found out to be having an affair. So that school year, when it came time for the senior prank, of course the students used this affair to their advantage. They first spray painted blank, first principal's name, fucked blank, on a pretty major road that led to the middle school, high school, and community park center.
Oh, shit.
Next, they printed hundreds of pieces of paper with a superlative on them. This superlative was cutest couple. And guess what 2 people's pictures were on the paper?
Oh, damn.
They then proceeded to throw
Teenagers are fucking savage.
Ruthless. They then proceeded to throw the hundreds of pieces of paper around the hallways of the school. Lastly, at graduation, as the 2 principals were announced and walked onto the stage together, the entire senior class started singing Bump and Grind by R. Kelly.
Oh my God. The coordination.
I don't see nothing wrong. Apparently, in that moment, my teacher said that she saw the immediate change in the 2 principals' faces and she knew nothing would be the same ever again. I'm a really huge fan of your podcast. I love listening to it while I walk my dog. I definitely think my neighbors think I'm crazy because I often find myself laughing out loud to the podcast as I'm walking. Hope you find this story interesting.
Oh, thank you for setting that in. That was interesting.
Yes.
The fact that an entire senior class hyper-focused on the relationship of 2 principals and was like, this is it.
Kids are fucked up.
Yeah.
But also, don't have an affair.
I mean, like, do you, but like, do better at hiding it from the teenagers who don't give a fuck about. Like,
so many of these are like teacher affair stories.
Oh, that's so common.
So common.
So common. Like, but the fact that you 2 principals probably fucked over how many of those students, and they're like, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Do that.
No, keep going.
Go ahead.
We'll get you, buddy.
We're getting plans together.
One of these days.
Damn, teenagers are scary.
And it's like nothing too terrible. They just were singing the song. We'll see nothing wrong.
Yeah,
they could be like,
what,
we just like the song. We just like the song. What are you talking about? We're not even talking about you.
Uncomfortable?
Why do you think that it's about you? That's what I want to know.
My dad used to say, if you think that I'm talking about you, I am. And I was like, fuck.
That does not help my anxiety.
I know.
Because I always think that people are talking about me.
If you think this is about you, it is. And I'm like, great, perfect. Everything's about me.
For sure.
Well,
all right.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. And thanks for sending in your scandals.
Yes.
And I hope that everything is I know everything is going great.
So good for all of us.
And if it's not, well, fuck your dads. Okay.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.